You are now listening to Love and War, the male and female perspective of love, life, and relationships in the 21st century, with your host, Crystal Francis.
Happy Monday, and thank you for tuning in to Love and War. This is a talk show, the male and female perspective of love, life, and relationships in the 21st century. I'm your host, Crystal Francis, and today's topic is relationship do's and don'ts, the top 5 things males and females need to know. Now, joining me on the show, I have Aaron Bell, Ernest Jones, and Tasha Wilson. So I'm just going to give them a chance to introduce themselves. This is the second season of Love and War, for those of you who don't know. And Tasha, Aaron, and Ernest will be joining me as co-hosts and relationships experts for the duration of the season. So I'm just going to open up the floor just to give them a chance to say a little bit about themselves. We're going to start with Tasha. How you doing, Tasha?
Hey, how you doing? I'm all right. How are you?
I'm cool. So just give the viewers a little bit of information about yourself, where you're from, and what you're going to bring to the talk show this season.
Okay. I am a native of the Eastern Shore of Maryland, specifically Easton, Maryland. What I'm going to bring to the table is more of a realistic standpoint from the female perspective on being in a relationship. A lot of times, us women try to change our mates instead of trying to find that 50-50 compromise, so I'm going to try to bring some balance onto the show.
Awesome. And coming from Philadelphia, PA, we have my man, Aaron Bell. Aaron, can you just give the viewers just a little bit about you and what you plan to bring to the show this season?
What's going on with you? I'm an actor/model. And what I'm going to bring to the table, I'm just going to keep it real. I mean, just going to tell the truth from both sides of the party and just keep it real.
Okay, Aaron, thanks for joining in. And lastly, but not least, we have Ernest Jones. Ernest, can you tell the callers about you, where you're from, and what you plan to bring to the show this season?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm from PG County, Maryland. Basically, I want to touch on relationship advice, dating advice, and just try to get everybody off on the right path when it comes to these courtship/dating relationships out there. That's about it.
Okay, that's cool. We got a couple of callers that are waiting to queue in some question and answers, but before we do that, I want us to jump into the topic. So our topic is relationship do's and don'ts. First of all, what does that mean generally? What is a do and what's a don't in a relationship? Who wants to jump at that?
Well, a don't, of course, is something that you want to stay away from, something that you don't want to practice, something that you want to get out of your system. A do is something you really want to concentrate on to help propel your relationship to a higher level. And do's usually bring happiness, don'ts bring anger and confusion.
Okay, so I was doing a little bit of research, and they have a lot of relationship blogs, and I was just, I typed in Google relationship do's and don'ts. The number one don't, and after I say this, I kind of want y'all to give y'all opinion based on who does this more. Going through somebody's cell phone.
Women.
That is a relationship don't. That is a number one don't that men are saying, these women be picking up my cell phone. They be searching for something. They don't want to find it. They searching for something. And I was always a firm believer that if you don't look, you won't find. And if you trust the person you with, you shouldn't really be snooping. So men, please explain to our our viewers out there, why is sneaking and checking your cell phone a relationship don't?
I mean, that is something you don't do. I mean, this is Aaron, but that's something you just don't do. That's like privacy. That's something I pay for. You should be going through my stuff. Like, you do want me going through your drawers or something that's properly yours, so, respect our stuff. Like, that irks me when, my girl, trying to creep to my phone. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you looking for? Like, it's a saying, like, don't keep knocking on the door, the devil may answer. So, you don't want to keep looking for something. Or, like, you look for something, you're going to find the truth. Then, but nah, that's a don't. Don't go through my phone. I don't go through your phone, so don't go through my phone.
Right. I gotta say, I definitely agree with that. I would say this though, as a guy, you got to be careful. Like, you can't guard your phone like I'm hiding something from you, because then the girl's gonna become skeptical and be like, "Well, what you hiding?" And you'll be like, "Oh, you can't see it." So I think me personally, in my own relationships, like, I keep my phone, open. Like, if you look, whatever. I really don't care. I just, I keep my phone open. One, you can't control what people say to you. So, I mean, if somebody says something wild or off the wall, I mean, they just said there's nothing you can really do. But you can control how you respond. So, just got to remember that. So, if somehow she happens to see a response that is inappropriate, then you just shot yourself in the foot. But other than that, I kind of play it kind of easy. And yeah, that's women are known for that. Not just phones, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
So, Tasha, coming from the female perspective, what do you have to say in regards to checking of the phone?
First of all, personally, I think it's whack. I mean, who has time to be playing detective? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you got to do all that, then you shouldn't be with the person. Like, there has to be trust. Like, don't give me a reason to sit up there and say, oh, well, we together, so I have the right or I have the authority to go through your stuff. No, just the same way that I would respect a dude to respect me and trust me, I should have the same thing for him. Like, I don't understand, and I feel like a lot of women who do that are insecure. Like, if you're not secure with your role or your place, then maybe you don't need to be with anybody. I'm sorry. I don't have time to be going through people's stuff trying to look for stuff. No.
I agree.
I definitely agree with that. I know that one of my friends, she was famous for going through the guy's cell phone. She actually got mad because he would not give her the password. And I'm just like, if you, like Tasha was saying, if you trust the person, then you won't have to worry about that. Now, I personally had an incident when I was dating a dude.
Uh-oh.
I stepped away real quick. And he picks up my phone because I didn't have one of those passwords, and I just had you just swipe across the screen and it opens up. And like Ernest was saying, you can't control what people text to you, but you shouldn't be getting mad at the fact. Like, he got mad because he didn't like the fact that somebody called me beautiful. I'm like, that's what they call me. Like, a lot of people call me that. I mean, I think it's a compliment, But, yeah, It's crazy. It's crazy. So does anybody else have any relationship do's and don'ts they want to bring to the table?
I have.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. This is Tasha. Okay, so I've heard a difference of wanting to keep your relationship private versus wanting to keep your relationship a secret. So my question is there a difference with being secret or private? Because to me, I feel like keeping your relationship a secret means that you're trying to keep your options open. But if you keep your relationship private, that just means you don't want outsiders trying to ruin what you have.
Right. Ernest and Aaron, let me jump on this one real quick first. Ladies first. So I've experienced both sides of the aisle, where I was the person that wanted to initiate it, and then vice versa. So let me tell you what happened. This is my belief. I think it depends on the people. Like, for example, celebrities, I can understand why they want to keep stuff secret because you know the type of media attention they get. So it's kind of like, in a sense, they want to protect that private part of their life from being blown up in the media. Now, I remember one time, and it's always a reason for you wanting to keep a relationship a secret. And even though I have asked that, I still believe that if you have to keep it a secret, you have something to hide.
Mhm.
Now, some people do it because they might not feel like, for example, it depends on who they hiding it from. Like, let's say you hiding it from your family because you're not necessarily sure if this person is going to be the one. Because I know I'm like, the guy won't meet my family unless I know that he's good. Because I don't like to bring different dudes up to my family, and then they be like, dang, she done ran through him, she on to the next one. So I can understand it in that sense, but I feel as though if you have a connection with that person and you have already established that this is the person and y'all moving towards something, if you continue to keep it a secret, then you're obviously trying to hide it for some reason. So I disagree with it. I really disagree with it. I think that people knowing that you're in a relationship with somebody cannot destroy that. They can only destroy that if you let them, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. What y'all think? What you think, Aaron?
Right, I agree. You shouldn't tell people. I mean, I don't want to say keep it secret, but, you know, everybody don't even know what's going on in your household. You know what I mean? Because once you start letting outsiders know what's going on in your household, that's when people start to crash it. And like you said, only the outsider can crash your house if you've allowed everybody in your business. Me personally, in my relationship, I don't tell outside like Facebook. You know, everybody get on Facebook, girl, girl. Like, I don't even know your whole day on Facebook. Like, that's all you do is on Facebook and tell your whole business? No, that's too much. Like, you got too much time on your hands doing that.
Right. I agree. I kind of think it depends on where the relationship is because it's kind of hard to keep something, you know, once you get, like, real serious, it's kind of hard to keep that, you know, like a secret. Like, you know, like, if you look at Jay-Z and Beyonce, at first nobody really knew. There was a lot of speculation. But then after a while, they had been together so long, you just couldn't people just knew, okay, they're together. Right. They have to be together. So I kind of feel like it should be something like that. People really shouldn't know. I mean, you know, okay, all right, they're dating or talking. And then when you elevate to the next level, I really feel like that's when you kind of should cut people off. And people really shouldn't come around or shouldn't really know until you're, like, about to get serious, like about to propose, like you've been together for some years. Because after a while, people will find out. People just see y'all together all the time. Like, they're gonna think you're together or whatever anyway. I know that happened to me a couple times. So, but you definitely shouldn't keep it a secret because that's right. A guy is if a guy's keeping you a secret, he's trying to still play the field.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
That's deep.
So, Aaron, what relationship do you have?
Do you or don't you is the question or what I'm about to ask. Could you date somebody who don't cook and don't clean but can bring home the bacon?
Wait, say it one more time. Just one more time.
Could you, a guy or a female, date the opposite, who don't cook or won't clean? Y'all live together, but they, you know that they can go to work every day, and when the bills due, pay the bills.
That's a serious question.
Right.
You know they can do the business in bed. You know they got the business in bed good. They already got the bills handled, but they just can't cook, or they don't want to cook because mommy and daddy probably did it growing up, so they don't choose to cook, and they just don't want to clean.
I'm gonna go first. Me personally, no, I couldn't do that, just because I like a woman's cooking, and if we're together, I'm gonna want her to cook. Not all the time, but I'm gonna want her to at least cook. The cleaning, I'll clean. Don't worry about it. I'll clean. But I'm going to want a home-cooked meal, especially like on Sundays, like after church,
Right.
you know, when the game is on. Like, yeah, I want a home-cooked meal. Like, you know, I want to be licking my fingers and stuff. You know, I want that. Yeah, if you can't provide that, then, yeah, I can't do it. That's a don't.
All right, let me jump at this one, y'all. This is Crystal. Okay, first of all, I think I can probably tolerate a person that does not cook because I can throw down in the kitchen. Amen, Tasha Wilson.
Yes, yes.
So, you know, for me, that's not a big deal. I think as long, and like Ernest was saying, if you don't cook, somebody got to cook. I mean, because you eating McDonald's every day, somebody's going to end up getting fat, and that might result to another problem. But, no, I'm joking. But as far as the cleaning, I can't. First of all, I cannot. I have a pet peeve about a dirty bathroom. I cannot.
Nope.
You have to be able to pick up after yourself, because at the end of the day, somebody's going to get tired of that.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
true.
and I don't know with the cooking part, I don't really see too many people getting too upset about it as long as somebody can do the job. But the cleaning part, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
With me, you have to have that. You know, you don't have to have OCD like me because I'm 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna come behind you. But if you just real dirty, like I remember I had a roommate in college. God bless her soul. And let me tell you, I get along with everybody until you take advantage of my kindness. Now I'm a clean person. I was back here. I remember one time I cleaned up the room. This girl, I came back. This girl had left chicken bones on the floor. Are you serious, lady, right now? Like, are you serious, lady? Unacceptable. I went off, okay? So, no. You got to be clean, but you don't have to cook with me.
And I'll jump in. This is Tasha. Yeah, the cooking part, I don't mind because I like cooking. I mean, that's what I do. You don't have to cook. I really don't care. But that cleaning part, yeah, we have to find some common boundary or something because I just can't deal with somebody who just walk around and don't care what your house look like, because a lot of times they say your house is a reflection of what your life is like.
Right.
So if you like to dunk your house, I don't got time for that. So that means everything else in your life must be a little messy too. So you got to clean.
Messy Mondays.
I'm going to go ahead and get my 2 cents in. The cooking, I don't mind, you know, because I like to cook. You know, I want my girl to cook too. The cleaning part, yeah, that's the no-no. Like she said, the house is a reflection of yourself. And what my mom's always taught me is always keep a clean house because you never know who may come to your door unexpected.
Right.
And you don't want somebody coming to your house and, you want to sit down? Nah, I'm good. I'll stand up. I ain't going to be here too long. You know what I mean? I ain't going to be here too long. That means your house dirty playing. I'm about to bounce in 2.5 seconds. But, yeah, you just got to have some kind of, got to be clean. Like, I can't, I don't want to get into that. But, yeah, the cleaning part, yeah, that's serious business.
Right. So, Ernest, what's your relationship do or don't?
My relationship just don't expect it always to be a fairy tale.
That's deep.
A lot of people base their relationships on like romance or like books and movies and, you know, things they see out there. So they're like, oh, okay, you know, it's always going to be like this and happily ever after. You know, a 2-hour movie cannot depict the rest of somebody's entire life. Like, you know, if you're going to be with this person, and not talking about, you know, marriage, but if you're going to be with this person, you're obviously going to have ups and downs. You're going to see them go through some changes. You're going to go through changes. The world is always evolving. So I feel like you really have to be prepared for that, and you really have to be grounded, because a lot of people, I'm just noticing, like, when the going gets tough, people are just like, oh, okay, you know, to the left, I'll replace you. You know, it ain't nothing. Like, that's everybody's attitude. I'm like, well, nobody's going to be with anybody because that's always going to happen. So that's just my sorry if I got emotional. The hit close to home. But that's my don't.
Okay. And I can agree with that. I mean, I remember I had when I was younger, you know how, and I know a lot of women do this, we had that little checklist of what we want our mate to be. And then as you live life and you learn, you understand that that's really not realistic. You know what I mean? I think that's one of those things that I don't think women should do. Now, you should have standards and morals generally for who you want to be with, but that superficial stuff like, oh, he got to be 6'6", light-skinned with blue eyes, play basketball, driver, whatever, stuff like that, I think is superficial. And that fairy tale life that you're going to get exactly what you want, I'm not necessarily sure about that.
I just want to jump in. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you good. Go ahead, Aaron.
I want to jump in and say a lot of people try to live another person's lifestyle. Mm-hmm. If you know your budget is $900, don't try to go to the club and spend $1,300 on your budget is $900. Live your lifestyle. A lot of people they get with somebody and they get spoiled, so they try to live that life after with somebody else. Mm-hmm. Well, I was spoiled here, so you gonna do it. No, live your lifestyle. If your lifestyle budget between me and you is XO, okay, we're gonna spend on XO. We ain't gonna try to overdo it.
I agree. Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, this Tasha, that's another thing, like, making sure that whoever you with is okay with that, because if they trying to ball on a budget but don't really have a budget, then it ain't going to work. Like, because what we're not going to do is spend a whole bunch of money that we don't have, and then we trying to figure out how to pay bills. Like, that's just not going to work just because you trying to front and floss for everybody else, knowing that at home things ain't really where they should be because you just spending money that you really don't have.
Yeah, you eating fried bologna sandwiches and whatnot.
Right.
It's like okay. On the face. Like to stay on a Facebook joint. You balling with you balling got Jordans on your feet, but you live in a Project 8.
Okay. Right. Or you got a Range Rover and you can't even pay your rent. Mm. Or you got a Range Rover and you can't even afford to keep gas in it.
No, really.
Or you got a Range Rover and sight.
I was about to say, you date somebody in a Range Rover?
No. No, I'm just playing. All right, I want to take the time to take a caller from off the line. We got a caller coming from Georgia up on here, so I'm just going to open up the floor to the caller. I'm allow him to introduce himself. So let me just go to our lines real quick. Caller, are you on the line?
Yes, this is Ozard Brown coming at you.
What's
and
up?
This is how we get down. Nothing much. What's up?
Wait, what's your name?
Ozard Brown.
How you spell that?
Started with an O. Ended the way you like.
Oh, you're a mess. So what question do you have for us today?
The question I have for today is, why is it that you have some females that will tell you they want you to give them the world, but will give you shit on a stick in return?
Wow.
Pardon my French.
One more time. Ask the question one more time so everybody can respond to it. We got it in their head. Why is it that what?
Why is it that you have females that want you to give them the world, but will give you shit on a stick in return?
Okay. All right. Well, did everybody hear the question from our caller all the way from Georgia?
Yeah. Y'all girls want to go first?
Go ahead, Tasha. Why is it that girls want men to give them the world, but we give them poop on a stick?
Yeah. So okay, listen. I actually know a friend that's dealing with something similar, right? And his girl thinks that she's supposed to be treated like a queen, as in he's supposed to pamper her, take care of her, but she don't do nothing. Like, ma'am, you got to earn that crown. I'm sorry. Like, don't be sitting up here trying to make him do something, overextend himself, when you're not even meeting him halfway. Like, when I say you're not doing a thing, you're not doing a thing. Like, no, it's just not going to work. And I always say that she has penthouse dreams but a pipeline reality. Like, You have to bring something to the table.
Oh, say it again.
A penthouse dream with a pipeline reality. Like
a penthouse dream with a pipeline reality. God is in the building.
Like you can't expect.
That's a tweet right there.
It's
I'm going to put that on Facebook.
Open that on Facebook right now.
Like really, it's like you trying to be treated like a queen, but you're not treating him like a king. That ain't gonna work.
Let me interject. Yes, Maya. First of all, I'm a firm believer that if you treat me good, I'm gonna treat you good. Now, I particularly like to spoil mine, but you got to earn it. You know what I mean? And the same thing, like I think women expect off the bat to be treated like queens because I think that's the way we socialize. And when you've grown up, especially if you have your father in the household, it's like, oh, that's daddy's little princess, and your parents always try to teach you that a man should be the breadwinner. They should be the one taking care of you. Now, I am an independent, woman. I don't necessarily rely on a male, but I understand that a man is needed if you want a strong structure in a household. So I agree with the caller. Well, I don't agree. I agree that that's what's happening, but I think that that's due to a lack of knowledge and women or females being exposed to relationships where the woman really doesn't know how to treat a king. You know what I mean? She wants to be treated like a queen, but at the same time, you gotta treat your man like a king. Ernest,
right?
What you got to say about that?
To answer his question or his statement, I think a lot of that we have to blame society because a lot of the shows like Love and Hip Hop New York, like you see a lot of women and men, it goes both ways, like just dogging each other. Like it's no love. Everybody is just taking a shot at each other whenever they can. So it's like the woman is like, okay, I'm going to ask for this. So when he gives this, I'm just going to, just going to do whatever to him because I don't care because he ain't nothing anyway. And that's what I'm seeing from society. So that's what I'm going to do. Also, if a person treats you like that, that means that's what they have on the inside. So you should know that before it gets to that level. So, and also, women, for the most part, I mean, they just used to guys being dogs. So they just like, well, eventually he's going to do something, he's going to mess up. So let me just go ahead and get the upper hand right now and go ahead and set the tone. And then you usually got a tit for tat, and it usually gets bad. That's just my take.
Wow. Aaron, what you got to say about that?
Yeah, that's a no-no. Like, you should stay away from that. I done caught a brain freeze. I forgot what I was going to say. I was thinking about it so hard.
You get old. That's all right.
Aaron, disagree with me, Aaron. Disagree with me, man. We good.
I disagree. There you go.
Okay, so we're almost out of time for the show. So before we end this broadcast, I just want everybody to go around and just give one piece of advice they can give for our viewers this week. What piece of advice can you give? We'll start with Tasha, Aaron, Ernest, and then I'll close it out.
All right. I'll say as far as relationships, make sure that you're ready to be in one, and particularly everything that comes with it, like not just the glitz, the glamour, or the things that you think will happen, but make sure that you're ready for the disagreements and everything else, because relationship is work, and if you're not willing to put in the work, then you don't need to be in one.
I agree.
You agree?
Cool. Aaron, what's your advice? Yeah.
As far as relationships, like you said, you got to take the good with the bad, and you got to be willing to work with it. Two grown folks shouldn't be fighting over some dumb stuff because that's childish. And always remember, everything you do, put God first, because there's no relationship if there's no God in it, period.
I agree. I definitely agree with what Aaron just said. Definitely put God first. Take your time. I notice a lot of people out here rushing, like dating, relationships, everything. Like just pump your brakes, take your time, breathe in, breathe out. Just focus. There is going to be a honeymoon stage where they can do no wrong, you can do no wrong. That will end. You will come back to reality, so just be prepared for that.
Okay, and my advice for this week's topic, relationship do's and don'ts, is don't ignore the red flags. Make sure that there's something that's brought up in a relationship that you don't like. Make sure you communicate that as soon as it happens. Don't try to ignore things, because by you ignoring it, you're not opening up that line of communication. So it looks like we're out of time today. I want to thank everybody for joining me on the relationship show, Love and War, the male and female perspective of love, life, and relationships in the 21st century. I want to give a shout-out to Columbus Cave Media for producing the music for the show. Make sure you visit Facebook and like his page. He's doing big things in the New York, Maryland, D.C., and Virginia area. Again, I'm your host, Crystal Francis, and you have just listened to Love and War.
Thank you for listening to Love and War. I'm your host, Crystal Francis. Don't forget to tune in next week, Mondays, 8 to 8:30 p.m.